Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I've got a total mishmash of all sorts of weird nonsense because I've got some comic books, I've got some random back issues, but I've also got some other just random, cool, sort of like nerdy stuff, some books, some trading cards, a board game, like a bunch of stuff that I've gotten recently. So I thought I'd put it all together into one video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off the other stuff first, then the comics. But there's also going to be an unboxing. I have some mystery packs of comics that I haven't opened yet. I'm going to open them here at the end of the video, and we're going to discover together what's in them. But before we get to the comics, I'm going to start with some Disneyana, if you will. There's first thing I'm going to show. I might have shown this before. I don't quite remember. I got this at an antique store a few months ago. Can't remember if I showed it before, so I figured I'd just show it again real quick here. And it's a Disney World placemat. So here's one side, which has a bunch of the Disney characters in front of the castle in Disney World. But then the other side has a map of the park. Now, this is apparently from around 1982. I gathered that this originally came out sometime around 79 or 80. It was on sale sort of in the early 80s. You can tell that it's after 78 because it has, where is it? It's on this side. It's got Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, so it's after 78, but it's early 80s, and I'm a big Disney fan. I particularly love maps, and when I say Disney fan, specifically Walt Disney World, because this is where we used to go on vacation all the time when I was a kid. So had to get that. It was $2, and it's something that at some point here, when I get my decorations all set up, I've got a whole bunch of Disney posters that my wife got me for my birthday last year. They're going to go on this wall when I get around to it. So this is going to go up at some point. I also have on the other side here a vintage Disneyland poster map, actually, that was a gift. So I'm excited to put this up as well. And to go along with that, a friend of mine, my friend Chesley, who is a good friend, very close, and we've done a lot of Disney trips together. She's also a big Disney theme park fan, and she's a big supporter of my comics, so I wanted to give Chesley a shout out. Well, they went down to Disney World recently, and she got me this. It's the Walt Disney World board game. Now, this was originally a board game that came out, again, I think back in the 70s, but this is a new reissue. So it's still sealed in the box. Haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it's got this cool like map of the park with some pop-up stuff. Again, really excited for this. Our first Disney trip was in 1975 when I was 2 years old. And so next year, my wife and I are going to be going down to Disney for the 50th anniversary trip. And I'm hoping that my brother will be able to join us, and Chesley and some of my other friends that are all part of my Disney experience. Hopefully everyone will be able to join. But for now, I'm just really excited to get that. So thanks again to Chesley for that cool board game. Now, another thing I want to show that's not comics, but it's something cool, something my wife got me. She was out for a walk recently, and someone was giving away a bunch of stuff, had one of those like tables on the side of the road with a bunch of stuff, and my wife spotted these two choose your own adventure books. Now, different print runs, different eras, but I wanted to show you these, in particular this here. So you can see up at the top it says Choose Your Own Adventure 1. So this is book 1, the first Choose Your Own Adventure book, and this is actually quite an early printing. It's a 7th printing, which sounds like it's later, but it's actually very early on because first printing was July of 1979. The 7th printing here is from September of 1980. So it's just over a year later. it's so early on that, you know, at the inside of the book they have the like other books in the series, but you can see there's only on book 3 here. So it's a 1980 edition of this. It's in really nice condition. Didn't want to open that too much because actually it's quite tight. Really nice shape for a very, very early Choose Your Own Adventure printing. Then a much later printing, it is book number 5. It's The Mystery of the Maya, but this is a much later printing. So this printing here is from 2006. I guess. It's a little hard to say, but might be newer than that. Basically, the inside it just says it's copyright 1982 and 2003, the story, and then the artwork, design, and revised text, copyright 2006. So that's my best guess. But you can see that by this point, there's a whole bunch of other books in the series. So it's a late printing. You can tell that the art's a very different style on this one, but it's really cool to have these. And again, I'm particularly excited to have this very early edition of book 1. These are going to go right with my pile of the got the TSR Endless Quest books here. So it's going to go in my Choose Your Own Adventure sort of pile of books. So thanks to my wife for picking those up. Speaking of my wife, we just went to Martha's Vineyard on a vacation, and it's sort of we stayed in Oaks Bluff, which is this sort of classic old beach town, right? And they have all this really cool, these beautiful, what they call the gingerbread cottages there, all these little houses that are all right next to each other. They were all built in the 19th century, and they have all this like ornate woodwork on the outside, and they look like these beautiful little gingerbread houses. And you have the beach, and we went stargazing, we flew kites, and it was just wonderful. But they also have like all the stuff you'd expect from a classic sort of beach town, where they had ice cream shops and whatever. And the big thing is, of course, the arcade. Now in the arcade, they had one of those things where you put the coins in, and then there's a thing that pushes the coins, and theoretically you're pushing the coins off the end, right? And then you get tickets or whatever for all the coins you push off. Now, I've never played any of those games because they always seem dumb to me. But in this one, it was a Willy Wonka themed one. And in addition to the coins it was pushing, there were Willy Wonka trading cards. Now, these are plastic, like credit card size things with the Willy Wonka characters on them. And it would push those off and you would receive them. And the idea was you could turn them in and trade them in for 20 tickets. If you got the set of all 9 characters and the golden ticket, the 10th bonus card, you would get 1,000 tickets, right? And the bonus card would only be released if you did X, Y, or Z on, I don't know, I couldn't quite figure out how to do it. But luckily when we first got there was already a golden ticket out on the thing. So we made it our mission to get these cards because when I was a kid, again, it's a lot of nostalgia here from the 70s and early 80s. But when I was a kid in the 70s, I loved the Willy Wonka movie just so much. It was one of my favorite things. Now, back then we didn't have VCRs or anything. You couldn't watch them on demand. You would have to just catch them if they were on TV. So if like, TV 38 or ABC or something happened to be showing Willy Wonka as their movie of the week or something, then we would get to see it, and I was obsessed with it. I loved it so much. So we decided to spend some fun vacation time. Instead of spending our money on other souvenirs, we spent it on this game to get the cards, and we got the set of all 10 of these. So let me show you these because they are really cool. We got all 9 characters here, and again, these are plastic. They're like credit cards that and they have most of them have a barcode on the bottom, so the people at the arcade could scan them to show that you won the 20 tickets. But here's Charlie Bucket, Grandpa Joe, Violet Beauregard, Augustus Gloop, Veruca Salt, and Mike TV. So we got all the guests. Then we got Slugworth, who's course, trying to get the secret formula. We've got the Oompa Loompas. And we have Willy Wonka himself, Gene Wilder. And then, here it is. What every kid always wanted right here. It's the golden ticket. It's the Wonka golden ticket. It's got the whole thing printed right on here. Present this ticket at the factory gate at 10 o'clock in the morning of the first day of October, and do not be late. You may bring with you one member of your own family, and only one, but no one else. The golden ticket. So that was our big souvenir for the trip, was this complete set of the Willy Wonka trading cards. They also had a Wizard of Oz, one of these games where they had Wizard of Oz cards. My wife is into Wizard of Oz, but I don't really care that much, so we ended up not doing those. There were a lot fewer cards as well, so we recognized that it was going to take a lot more time and money. These we kind of got lucky on. It actually didn't take that much work to get the set of 10. So, very excited for those. Again, it's all nostalgia here from my childhood. The Choose Your Own Adventure, the Willy Wonka, the Disney World. I'm even wearing my throwback Terry O'Reilly jersey. When I'm recording this, the Bruins just beat the Leafs last night to get into the second round of the playoffs. So this is the jersey that I wear. Terry O'Reilly was my favorite player when I was a little kid. So it's all nostalgia all the time around here. But we also got some comics. So while we were on the trip on Martha's Vineyard, almost everything was closed because we were there like a couple weeks before the season starts. And so most of the stores were closed. There were a couple really cool looking antique stores that were just closed because they don't open until the end of May. And it was a little frustrating, but there was one place that was open. And they did have some comics there. Nothing too exciting, but I got a couple random books that I thought were kind of quirky or interesting. So I got Catwoman 83. So it's a late in the run for the first volume of Catwoman. Quite late in the run. This was the Jim Ballant run on Catwoman. And this is after he left. But as you can see, in addition to being sort of a late run issue, it's also got Harley Quinn cover and story. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's not actually worth as much as you might expect it to be, given all of those factors. It's only, an $8 or $10 book, but and this copy's is not in great shape. But I thought it was interesting to pick it up for $1. Well, it was actually 3 for $5, so it was a little bit more than $1. Then I got this. So it looks real exciting at first because, as you can see, it's Thor 337. But yes, down here it says not for resale. Now, this is a really interesting edition because other than that, it's basically the original, fully reprinted, except the ads are different because it's... they're ads for the action figures. Here's the Beta Ray Bill action figure, and this comic came with that action figure. So this is the Toy Biz reprint. Now, there's different versions of this, and I've seen some of the other ones. This is the best one because the other ones, they have a black border. They're missing the price and stuff, whereas this has got the whole thing. The only thing that really marks it out in terms of the front cover is the not for resale down here. But again, it was 3 for $5, so I thought it was really cool to have. Of course, I used to have a signed copy of Thor 337, a copy that I had Walt Simonson sign for me in person. But when I sold my Thor collection, that was unfortunately went out with it. I still have a couple Walt Simonson signed issues of Thor, but and here's the other one that I just thought was really weird. I'm not a Wolverine fan, as you guys know. It's Wolverine Global Jeopardy, which was, as you can see here, produced in cooperation with the World Wildlife Fund. So this is a charity comic that's to raise money for the WWF to save the planet. And for some reason, it stars Wolverine. And it also, as you can see, it guest stars Shaun of the She-Devil, Kazar, Zabu, and Namor the Submariner. So the creative team on this is actually written by Peter David and Richard Howell. Sorry, written by Peter David, pencils by Richard Howell, and that's the creative team. Anyway, so it's not a bad creative team. It just strikes me as a very, very strange. I'm sure they wanted Wolverine in this because Wolverine had to be in everything at the time this came out. This is December of '93. But it's just one of these goofy comics. I try and pick up things that are interesting and weird. I do have one other book I want to show before we get to the mystery packs. Now, this is a little bit random, but I got this from Kickstarter. It arrived in the mail recently. I've talked a lot about Miskatonic High, and issue 22 came out. This is a special variant cover with the King in Yellow on it. I love this cover. It's a really fun series, and at the time I'm recording this, I think the Kickstarter is still live for their Volume 3 trade paperback, which collects like issue 14 to 22, I think, or something like that. So I'm really excited to see what Mike does with the next arc that's about to start with issue 23. But really excited for this. It's a great read as well. And finally, just to go back to our trip to Martha's Vineyard, we recently got a new electric car. It's our first all electric. We used to have a hybrid. We went to full electric. It's turned out to be actually a little bit more challenging than we anticipated with the charging of the car, mostly because we rent, so we can't actually install a level 2 charging station here at our house. That's actually complicated things a lot more than we thought it was going to. But this was the first trip where we're taking the car on the road, and we had to plan like where we're gonna stop and charge the car. And like there was a charging station in the town we were at. It was a half mile from the hotel, so we basically parked the car to charge, walked to the hotel. So that was added some extra walking time, whatever. But the point of all of this is, leading into the mystery packs of comics, is that after we got home, we realized, the car was almost out of juice. And so one place that you can get a charge is at Walmart. So Walmart, I can't say I'm a big fan of Walmart, but they've done one cool thing here, which is that almost all of their Walmarts now, they've added these high-speed electric vehicle charging stations with a company called Electrify America. When we bought our electric car, this is a long story leading to this, but when we bought our electric car, we got a 2-year program where we can charge for free at Electrify America locations. This was the first time we've actually done it, but we were like, car's low on battery. We're going to be going by this Walmart. So we stopped at Walmart. It only took 18 minutes to charge the car from like 18% all the way up to 90%. So it was really fast, totally free for us because of the plan. But we had 20 minutes to kill in Walmart. And I thought to myself, Walmart, they're supposed to have those mystery packs of comics. Now, I think that DC has stopped doing those 100-page giants they used to have at Walmart. And when we went there, they were almost completely cleaned out. There were no DC mystery packs. However, there were 2 Marvel mystery packs. They each have 7 Marvel comics for $10. What I've heard from people in the past and from the internet is that a lot of their mystery packs will have, they can have chase variants in them. So 1 in 25 or 1 in 50, like some really rare variants will appear in these packs, but we don't actually have a Walmart near my house, so I've never looked for them. But I thought, you know what? We've got 20 minutes to kill. Why don't I buy some of these mystery packs and open them on this YouTube video? So that's what I'm about to do right now. This one on the front, so there's 7 comics. I only know what one of them is. It's the one on the front. It's Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight, #1, a team up that makes no sense at all other than synergy with Disney Plus, because they both have a series on Disney Plus. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. But I'm going to rip it open and then we're going to see what's inside. And I should also say that even if there are some rare chase variants in here, I'm not probably going to know because I don't know anything about variants. But here we go. I've opened the pack, and Actually, it's weird. I opened the pack, and then inside the pack were 2 more packs. So give me a second. I have to open the other packs. Packs within packs. Okay, wow, that was way more work than I was expecting. So it's interesting. It turns out that inside these 7 packs, there were 3 packs that were labeled that had said 3 Marvel comics for 1 low price. And I guess those must not have sold, because there were 2 of those inside here with another extra book, and then they were all wrapped in another thing that said 7 comics for $10. So turns out that these 7 packs have old 3 packs inside them. So let's see what we got. First of all, there's the Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight #1. It turns out this is actually a variant. So I'm guessing it's not worth very much, though. Otherwise, someone would have bought it because it was on the front. Then we've got Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, #1, Legacy 139. Also, it says it's a variant edition. Something called Legion of X, and there's someone on the front saying, "Call me Mother Righteous, love." This is a second printing. Legion of X. There's the second printing thing down there. This almost looks like it's from a different period because of the... No, it says 2020. It's beginning of 2022. So it's over 2 years old. A little odd that it's just bouncing around the Walmart. And then Moon Knight #8 with a Devil's Reign tie-in. And this also says it's a variant. So a lot of variants. In fact, these have all been variants so far. If you include the second printing as a variant. Next up, we have Star Wars: The High Republic Trail of Shadows #2. This is a cool cover. It's got Mace Windu. X-Men: The Trial of Magneto, or Magneto, if you prefer, #2. Okay, this is the first one that doesn't say variant edition. I didn't mention it, but the Trail of Shadows #2 also says variant on the back. This one doesn't, though. So here we have X-Men: The Trial of Magneto #2. And then here is a Star Wars: The High Republic Trail of Shadows #1. Also with a variant edition. Interesting, this says variant on the front, whereas the other ones had a thing on the back. So it's interesting. I got 7 comics in that pack, which was actually 2 3-packs from 2002 through 2022, 2 years old, and 6 of the 7 comics in there were variants. But again, I'm imagining none of them are worth much, but I would be really curious if anyone watching this is into the new comics of the variants and you know things, because I definitely don't know things. Let me know down below. I don't know. Okay, and here's the other pack. So I've opened that up. Again, we're going to start with the Moon Knight. This is facsimile edition. And this, again, is a variant. It's got a wraparound cover, although the wraparound's not a whole lot, I suppose. Facsimile edition. Is this... Yeah, okay, so this is a reprint of Moon Knight #1 from 1982 or whatever year that was, but with this variant cover instead of the regular cover. All right, and here we go. We're gonna... No idea what's in here now. I'm not looking at it. Next comic. Oh, we got another one of these. Already seen that. Whoop-de-doo-dah. And then we've got... What is that? Darkhawk? Darkhawk #1, second printing variant. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that Darkhawk costume, but... Or I'm not sure how I feel about Darkhawk at all. Then we've got Alien. number 8. This is just this doesn't look like it's a variant. It's just Alien number 8. Okay. Well, whatever this is. Oh, it's another one of these. Okay, already gotten one of those. Another. Hopefully those are worth $1 million, but I'm pretty sure they're not worth anything. Then we've got one of these. Yep, got one of those already. And, oh, it's a Venom Lethal Protector. Number 1. Or just not a variant though, just a regular one. So a little disappointing that they had those duplicates. Again, it convinces me even more that these variants aren't actually worth anything. There's a couple that look like the covers are really cool. I mean, I would say that like of the variants that I just got, the coolest ones seem to be, to me, the 2 Moon Knight variants. The Facsimile Edition variant, and then, where is it? This one here. This looks like a cool image. It's very Stephen Platt to me. So, like, there's some cool art on these, but I can't imagine any of them are actually worth anything. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. And so that's it. That's the haul. We had a fun unboxing. We had a lot of knickknacks, a lot of trips down memory lane and nostalgia from the 70s. So I had a good time. I hope you did too. And oh, just a quick tease. Next time around, we're going to be starting a whole series of videos about an epic free comic book day adventure that my wife and I went on to. We went to 3 different stores. So we're going to have actually 4 videos. The next 4 videos is going to be the first store. You'll see all the stuff I got. The second store, you'll see the stuff I got. The third store, you'll see the stuff I got. And then, in a first for this channel, the 4th video is going to be spotlighting just all the stuff my wife bought. So she bought a giant pile of stuff as well. So we're going to have a whole video dedicated to all the cool stuff my wife got. So you can see what she likes to read. Although a lot of stuff, she's like me, she's just buying stuff because it looks cool. Who knows whether she's actually gonna like it or not. But something to look forward to. So we got 4 videos coming up about our epic free comic book day adventure. A lot of cool comics and some amazing comics, back issues that I didn't have the money for that I want to tell you about, because man, I saw some comic books. I was telling my wife afterwards, I was like, that thing there, that's a comic book. That's the real deal. That's why you go to these comic stores. We haven't had a moment like this since the time I saw the Wonder Woman #1 at a store in one of my previous videos. There's going to be some stuff close to that level or at that level that I want to tell you about. So stay tuned for the next 4 videos because I think you're going to see some neat stuff. And I'll see you then.